Sheffield, England is famous for steel. Sheffield, Australia is famous for something very, very different. Street art. Welcome to Tasmania's town of Murals. In the 1980s, Sheffield was in the doldrums. Jobs were disappearing and people were leaving. A group of residents came together with a novel idea to revive the town. They would turn it into an outdoor art gallery. It was a brilliant idea, and these days both tourists and artists flock to this rural town in northern Tasmania. I'm very lucky to have coincided with the Tasmanian Mural Fest, which takes place in Sheffield every year. This year it brings together 9 street artists from Tasmania. The theme this year is the place I call home.
My name is Julian Bale. I'm the curator of the Murals in Sheffield and restorer, and at the moment I'm the arts manager for Mural Fest. So my duties are to look after the artists, make sure everything runs smoothly. 20 years ago came up the idea of doing a festival where different artists from all over the world would come to Sheffield and fight it out. 9 finalists would fight it out for the week for a prize pool. That created a lot of excitement in the town, and so from there it's just organically grown, and we're really excited about this year. The reason being is that we have virtual reality murals happening. We've got muralisation of objects, we've got a guest artist, so the whole thing's starting to get bigger each year, and now we're engaging the world on more of a artist-based note.
Am I right that you're the mother and son?
Yeah, I'm the son, she's the mother.
I think yours is the most surreal.
Promised Land is the place we get to do our painting about, and if you know Promised Land, it's a sort of farmland area just 15 minutes out of Sheffield, which that is the real name of it. It says Promised Land on the sign. Inside Promised Land is a place called Tasmania, which has hedge mazes and little model villages, and it's a special page about our interpretation of the area. To me, what speaks to me about Tasmania is it's an example of a place where someone's taken what was a beautiful farmland to begin with, but they've done something extra special with it and used their imagination to create a really special place.
We're photorealists, and we both worked a lot on reflections, so that suited us both.
So I've got creatures in there that make their own homes, which signifies to me that we all make our own lives, we make our own homes.
The painting itself is sort of like a tapestry of nature, and in particular the cradle country, which is sort of around your Mount Roland and out this way, Sheffield Way, which is where you are now. And there's a lot of really amazing Tasmanian natives. So you've got in this picture, there's quite a few different natives that have illustrated here. So you've got like your Waratahs, your Banksias, your Fagus leaf, you've got tulips, you've got, what else have I got in here? Your flowering gum. I've put some weeds in there with thistle, just for a bit of a joke, because they're kind of everywhere in the countryside. And just sort of playing on just the patterns and how everything sort of weaves together in a sort of natural state.
I live in Ulverston, and it's basically a view from the Leven Canyon lookout, which is probably about 15-20 k's back from Ulverston. And we have many suburbs, minor suburbs, Galore on the way through Naida, and but you end up in Ulverston Township. So we've got this awesome river system that goes up to Leven Canyon, and the Bass Highway, the railway line, and a couple of bridges otherwise, and then you've got your beaches, and that's the Spirit of Tassie, which is heading into Devonport, which we see. And this whole thing is actually like from space. A guy's sort of like got an iPad that magnifies, it floats around. So the theme was a place called home, but possibly in the future it may be not based on planet Earth.
This is a place I call home is the actual subject matter, and yeah, this is where I live. This is in Opossum Bay outside of Hobart. So I've depicted it in a very literal way rather than something symbolic or anything like that. This is it. This is where I live.
Well, this particular mural here represents Greg Duncan, and he's an amazing sculptor. He's done like a 300-foot wall in hewn pine, all carved out by hand. Anyway, before Mural Fest, I thought we need to celebrate this man and his achievements, and it's all about the history of Tasmania, all carved into this wall. So I phoned him up and asked him if I could go down and take his photograph, which he said yes, and so I did this mural, and so 2010 it was a winner.
Sheffield. It's not your average town, is it?
Sheffield, northwest Tasmania, rural Australian success story. What we have here are pretty pictures on the wall. There's no glitz, there's no ritz, there's no neon. We have some really good coffee shops, some really good food shops. The pub meals are fantastic. We have a Mural Fest. We have 140 murals in the district. What we do here is low-key, sustainable tourism. I don't believe in tourism, but I do feed off it. But if we make the town pretty for the locals, then the other people will come. They'll drive through and go, wow, what a pretty town. And it is, it's a pretty town. We have oaky, countrified murals. We have fantastic art in our art gallery. We have a new $1 million art centre and information centre. Immersive, interpretive, intergalactic, transdimensional art centre that's worth visiting. This is the first Mural Fest in 3 years. And all artists come from around Tasmania, and these murals in a year's time, they'll be finished today. Tomorrow they're on display for a year. After a year they go back to the town of the locale of the artist in Tasmania, and we create the Tasmanian Mural Trail. It begins in Sheffield or at Devonport Airport and ends in Sheffield or at Devonport Airport, where we also have a mural. And I am Doktor Mojo. You now subscribe to me. I prescribe slaughtermatic sounds for the masses.
So there you have it, a little snapshot of Australia's greatest outdoor art gallery. And if you want to see live action mural painting by some incredibly friendly and talented artists, then make sure to time your visit to Sheffield with Mural Fest.